2/3 of the Legacy League Summer 19 season here in Connecticut is in the books. Just when you guys thought you were getting rid of me on the post game, Greg Horn taking over, feeling good, calling out Connor last week, setting lines that are ridiculous when it comes to Run TMC. Flint, forgetting Drew's name.
Yep.
How can you forget Drew's name? Come on. I mean, I might forget like Eddie's name or something later on. But big win for Redeem Team. We're going to get to that. TMC remains undefeated in the game of the week, and everybody else kind of held serve. Week 6 post-game show. Evan, Drew, Julia, Quinn, Eddie. It's not that hard, Greg. It's time just to give Greg a ton of crap so he can watch this later and regret not hosting this week. All right, so let's start with the game that was here just now. Went in overtime. Sportsbook Redeem Team. Redeem Team again comes away with the win, 4-2.
Yep.
Awesome. And Sportsbook, that means goes to 3-3. So after just a couple weeks ago, Sportsbook took down Shocker City, undefeated at that point, I believe.
Yep.
And now they've lost 3 straight. That means then, right? 3-0 to 3-3.
Right.
What did Redeem Team do tonight to come away in overtime?
They had more players. They had their full roster.
That always helps.
Start with that.
I mean, this wasn't a bad game by either team. This was a very highly fought battle between both teams. Kind of the big three of Sportslook, Dan Kokoros, Norco, and
Matt Marconi was good tonight.
Matt Marconi was outstanding tonight, and Brian Acevedo also played really well.
Yep.
But I mean, just the length and size of Redeem Team kind of pushed them over the edge in the end, I think. Eddie made a couple big shots towards the end, and kind of just playing to the clock towards the end. There was some controversial plays, some would say, but Redeem Team fought to the end, and they, I think, were the deserving winners in this one.
Yeah, let's stay on this game and then the game of the week as well, the 2 closer ones from week 6. It's funny you mentioned the length of Redeem Team. Coming in, it was Sportslook size that I thought would be the difference. And then when Matt Marconi's hitting threes, kind of look over to Eddie, it's like, oh, like the size, and now they're hitting shots. Like this is a recipe for what can go wrong, will go wrong. So Eddie, I mean, big win for your team. Like, how'd you overcome that size difference? Because, I mean, it was looking at the players, it's pretty evident. Still able to get the win.
Yeah, it was tough. We tried to clog the paint as much as we could and make them shoot. They were making shots, which was kind of surprising me, but I mean, good for them. They were making them. So it was a tough game. Eric, Melquan, Destin really took over in the fourth quarter, and they definitely won us this game. So it's a good game to build off of. Shocker City next week, so
nice.
That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, we'll preview that in a second. Speaking of that, I think something that maybe overcame some of that size was the passing lane deflections of Redeem Team. Who was doing that tonight? Who was stepping up on that?
I mean, Melquan is usually the guy who steps up on defense. He's definitely one of the more vocal players on Redeem Team, loves to get involved. But, I mean, it was kind of like a whole team effort. Eric Singleton wasn't getting involved. Eddie was even getting involved on defense. I mean, not that Sportslook played bad by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, they played great. They had a great game, but in the end, sometimes the cookie crumbles that way.
Yeah, not enough. The other big-time matchup tonight, Run TMC and the Flint Tropics. Greg Horn behind the camera now.
Flint Nation!
Flint Nation, still alive and well. Had to make them favorites this week. If the podcast wants to be wrong, it's fine.
Hey, Connor picked you guys.
Connor did pick. Well, I mean, he was getting points. I'd pick me too. Run TMC gets the win, proves a 6-0 over the Flint Tropics. Flint made it close at the end.
Yeah.
It was really like an 8, 9, 10-point game. Another kind of third quarter run, I think, was kind of the difference. What did you guys see in that one?
Well, first quarter, it was kind of, I felt a little nervous for Run TMC.
Yeah.
Because you were held to just 10 points, and it's such a high-powered offense. But I also noticed Reggie was struggling a bit in the first quarter, and I was thinking, it's probably going to be one of those kind of games, because you know how that goes. But second half, he started with back-to-back three-point shots, and entire second half, he was dominating. I think he found his groove, and that helped push you over.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of one of those games, much like the Sportslook game at the end, where a couple bounces could have gone different ways, and this could have been a whole different game. I mean, both teams obviously really talented. Flint Tropics, I mean, Mike Pizzuto played a good game. He led his team in scoring, but there were a couple open threes and twos where he could have knocked it down and didn't. So really could have gone either way, but Run TMC loves to push the floor, loves to break out in transition, keep a fast pace, and Reggie, although did struggle in the beginning, really found his groove in the end and was basically the main facilitator on offense towards the end.
Just want to add that slide, you guys still pulled it off. I think that's huge, because even if you had lost, you could say in the playoffs it might be different, but to do this without Slot and to possibly have him for a potential playoff matchup. That's huge that they didn't see him. Really.
Yep, for sure. And I think Reggie struggled early, kind of part of that second quarter run that we only scored 10 in the first and erased that really quick early in the second. And then playing in space like that is something that the players we have thrive in. And I think that whether Flint wasn't ready for it, I think that's kind of the wrong way to put it, or maybe they just couldn't keep us out of transition for the whole first half. Yeah, it's easier to do when you're scoring, right? So when Flint's scoring in the first quarter, they're able to keep them keep the game in a more of a half-court game, and then things kind of start to snowball, and that's really what a lot of the good teams do, not just TMC. I mean, the run will come. It just depends on where you're at in the game when it comes, right? Over to court 3, not even court 2, court 3. We'll do some bricklayers and Scott's Tots. Scott's Tots able to get the win. I was a little busy, didn't get to see this one, but I was surprised that it wasn't closer. I mean, I kind of got the update walking over here, and they were like, nah, not really close. I was like, oh, all right. I thought, speaking of the podcast, bricklayers building some steam, Jason Bidner, play of the week.
Yep.
What did Scott's Tots do that impressed you?
Well, they just looked like the more cohesive team, and I think that starts with the guys I interviewed with the Raffone brothers.
Yeah.
Their chemistry is just really good. I'm sure they've played a long time together, and just their assists to each other were great. I think overall they just looked better than the bricklayers, and it was close to start out, and then Scott's Tots really just broke off and went for it all.
Yeah, I think that was an overall theme for the night. There was definitely some slow-moving players out there. I think it took a while, holiday weekend, everyone's kind of getting back in the groove, but I do think that Scott's Tots definitely, like Quinn said, more cohesive. They definitely have a little bit more depth than the bricklayers, but the bricklayers, they're coming together. They're starting to figure it out a little bit, so we'll see what happens next week.
Yep, and then the other matchup over there, again, it was close maybe for the first quarter and a half. Silly Senders and Shocker City pretty much tied, right?
Yep.
And then Davon Pratt is running his mouth, and Chris Wadzinski's trying to play me one-on-one. Maybe on All-Star night, but when you have 2 losses, I don't really hear too much. So, what did Shocker City do tonight? Yeah, I'm back, right? You like having me back? Yeah, it's nice having me back. Yeah, what did Shocker City do?
I mean, definitely wasn't quite the Shocker City I've seen in previous games. Again, another slow beginning. It was 14-0 after the first period. Just not hitting their shots. But then there definitely was a turn entering the second period, and Jason Hernandez had a ton of shots, so he was really on tonight. And props to, I think it was Brendan Butcher, if I said that right.
Former intern, by the way.
Former intern, all right. Well, yeah, he had 29 points tonight. Really impressive, 3-point shot, so props to him. He kept it kind of close, especially at the beginning.
It was pretty much the battle for who's going to get a triple-double, it seemed, as they were talking to each other. And David Armstrong had a great night. He had about 8 blocks, 28 points, really incredible all around, and they were running through him, honestly, so he looked really good, and they looked really good. It's all right.
Yeah, right now it's not.
It's all right. I could do that. Yeah, not bad.
Silly Senders only had 4 guys, so we go back to having that depth. Not sure how much it would have mattered. I mean, Shocker City eventually puts that run together, like we talked about, right? And they have the guys to keep coming and coming. Speaking of having a ton of guys, I mean, Nick Strong's been impressive.
Yeah.
4 in a row now.
3 in a row.
3 in a row.
So from 0-3 to 3-3.
So
The opposite
them in sports.
look.
There you go.
Yep.
Them in sports with meet. They take down Toon Squad tonight, a team that we know and we've talked a lot about as a team that has a ton of potential. But tonight it was all Nick Strong, and let's just reiterate what Greg said. He wasn't sure if Chris Leak hit the gym. I think Chris Leak solved that mystery. Definitely held his own against Chad McCoy, and it was really all Nick Strong tonight. Who besides the Vasicchio brothers did their thing?
Yeah, I mean, Mike Vasicchio was was the leading scorer in this one. But to me, I think the key player for Nick Strong is Ryan Florentine.
Yeah.
I think he's super underrated. I think he plays lockdown defense, and he can knock down trays whenever kind of he wants. I've really been impressed with Nick Strong's progression from week 1 to now. I mean, they kind of got the short end of the straw when they got 3 of arguably the top teams in the league week 1, 2, and 3, and they've really proved themselves. I asked Mike Vasicchio if he thought they were underrated, considering they started at 0-3. He definitely thought they were underrated, definitely thinks they could beat anyone in the league, and I actually think with the addition of Chris Leak now that they have a good chance of being competitive with just about every single team in this league.
And that new addition of Chris Wood, I really like what I saw in him tonight. I know they just picked him up. And going back on those first 3 weeks, again, it was very tough strength schedule those first 3 weeks, and they were still really close games. They just couldn't close them. So I wouldn't count them out. They might be a good sleeper team for the playoffs.
And Toon Squad, I was really high on Toon Squad at the beginning of the year. Obviously, Jaden Battle and Chad McCoy are very good players. Chad McCoy's had a lot of trouble finishing at the rim, I've noticed. He's a very large man, but his touches toward at the rim are not soft enough, and it's not really making for high percentage shots for him. Jaden Battle actually had a really quiet game today. Couldn't seem to get much going, but played solid for the most part. Nick Strong though, look out for them. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, they're rolling, and they always. I was worried about where you were going with their interview. That interview can go, and you saw it last week. That interview can go in 1,000 different ways.
Fun guys.
Fun guys. Yeah, a bunch of fun guys over there. All right, since I'm back, we're doing a one-word game. So through 2/3 of the season, Eddie's going first. He looks nervous. One word to sum up the season.
I'll just go exciting.
Okay.
It's a lame answer, but
Yeah, I mean it's a common one. Good, you took the easy one.
I'll go a second easy one with wild.
Wild. All right.
I definitely say unpredictable.
Okay, that's right. So far, so good.
Chirping.
Yes. Do
Chirping.
you want to throw in a second word of the last name of someone when you say chirping?
Like who I think of when I
Yeah.
think of chirping? Ooh. I think of
Watch what you say
No,
here.
chirping. Come on, you just spit it out. Someone's got to come right to your mind. Devon Pratt.
Yeah, I was thinking Pratt or Melquan. Melquan talks a lot
He was
too, yeah.
putting the filter on. That's what I was trying to. He's like, wait, who can I say and not get crap for it?
One of my favorite words, electric.
Electric. All right, I like it. Am I doing one too? Is that what's going on?
I mean, yeah, it was your idea.
Is TMC one word?
Well, is it an acronym?
We got to just go
Reggie.
Reggie
Yeah,
works?
go
Yeah,
ahead.
cool. All right, good. And a head nod from Sam Leventhal. Guys, good job for week 6. Be back for week 7. We have Redeem Shocker.
Yep.
What's your quick initial thought on that?
I think we can beat them. I think
Okay.
we'll see what happens. I'm sure Chris will text me after seeing that now.
Awesome. Yeah, good.
We'll see
All
what
right.
happens.
So don't give Chris your number. That's the lesson we learned
that's a
from the
good
week 6
lesson.
post-game show. We'll see you for week 7 from InSports. Thanks for watching.